Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Daily Recap, where we give you a recap of all of the hot topics that we covered that day. You can catch them in their long format and also catch it fully streaming for free on Apple Podcasts. We got a show that I can't even believe, right? I can't even believe it. It just like it was Sunday night. I was there relaxing, damn near falling asleep on the couch, and then all of a sudden I opened up my phone and I saw a picture from the account Basketball Forever that Skip Bayless is being a part of a lawsuit, which also included a sexual assault. And I'm like, wait, what? So immediately we jump on a live and I hunt down the information. And it came from the source that actually published the information was from Front Office Sports, right? So they initially published the news and they had the article with the headline saying, Fox, Skip Bayless, others sued on 14 counts, including sexual battery. And I'm like, this has to be a joke. Like, it has to be a joke. So we start reading through the article and we start reading this detail and that detail. And depending on the orders in which you're covering today's show, we're going to be talking about a lot. We're also going to talk about the aspect of Joy Taylor. And then I do a live. The minute I get off the live, I text Marcellus Wiley and I'm like, yo, bro, big dog, you gotta see this story. Like, you gotta see this story. And I sent him this stuff and he's like, send me the law. So I sent him the law. So he's like, yo, and he goes, they gonna force me to say what I know. And I'm like, you got to get on. We're doing the live. Jason Whitlock jumps on the live, talking about 2025 is going to be, it was crazy year, talking about what's going on at Fox News. So it was just a crazy one, right? So as all of this news is breaking, somehow Shannon Sharpe gets dragged into the mix. And apparently, allegedly, Skip Bayless went after Shannon Sharpe because he believed that this person he was trying to have an affair with or whatever it is had already been romantically involved with Shannon Sharpe, and it was something that actually pissed him off. Okay, so let's get into what the article had to say first, and then we're going to get into the actual suit itself. It says, a former Fox Sports hairstylist alleges in a lawsuit that a network executive used his position to sexually harass women, as well as that Skip Bayless touched her inappropriately and propositioned her for sex. Nushin Faraji, who says she worked at Fox Sports from 2012 through last August, made a series of allegations in a 42-page lawsuit obtained by Front Office Sports. Fox Sports FS1, FS2, and Fox Sports EVP Charles Dixon, Bayless, and FS1 host Joy Taylor are listed as defendants in the lawsuit. In the suit filed Friday in Los Angeles, Faraji alleged that Dixon, the head of content for FS1, grabbed her buttocks at a birthday party in West Hollywood. When she relayed the encounter to Taylor, the Fox host allegedly told her to get over it, according to a lawsuit. Now, I want to fast forward to the part where they bring in Shannon Sharpe. It says, instead, Bayless became more aggressive over the years, according to the suit. He allegedly offered Faraji $1.5 million to have sex with him and claimed he could change her life. The suit also claims Bayless accused Faraji of sleeping with Shannon Sharpe, his co-star on Undisputed, right? So this is what we read during our live. And then I decided to go into the 42-page lawsuit. And I want to read what the lawsuit had to say here. Okay, it says, over the years, Mr. Bayless continued to make advances on Miss Faraji. Miss Faraji would always make excuses regarding her son, politely change the subject, or make a joke, anything to keep Mr. Bayless appeased and her job safe. In July 2021, Miss Faraji developed issues with her left ovary and was advised it could be cancer. With a fourth biopsy scheduled, she explained her situation to Bayless, hoping that he would take pity on her and cease his advances. Instead, Mr. Bayless told her that he wanted to be with her. Miss Faraji panicked and began rambling that there were cameras everywhere, that she has a child, and that she does not want him. Mr. Bayless then grabbed her hands, began kissing them, and offered her $1.5 million to have sex with Miss Faraji. Miss Faraji made an excuse to leave. And then continues on. Approximately 1 week later, Mr. Bayless had made another advance at Miss Faraji. Miss Faraji responded, "Skip, stop, you have a wife." Mr. Bayless responded, "Aren't you a Muslim? Doesn't your dad have like 3 or 4 wives?" Ms. Faraji responded that her father was dead, and when Mr. Bayless looked taken aback, she made an excuse to leave. Now, this is where it gets interesting. All right. It says, on April 12, 2022, Mr. Bayless texted Ms. Faraji, "I'm good today." The text meant that he would not be coming in for hair and makeup. On April 13th, 2022, Mr. Bayless texted Ms. Faraji, not comfortable with coming down there. Just do what you need to do. It's okay. Ms. Faraji asked him what was wrong. He replied, same stuff, worse. Ms. Faraji, concerned about her job, walked to Mr. Bayless's fitting room to see if everything was okay. Mr. Bayless answered the door, and before Ms. Faraji could speak, he began angrily accusing Ms. Faraji of effing Mr. Sharp. Ms. Faraji tried to explain that she did not have any feelings towards Mr. Sharp and had never slept with him or any other talent member or employee at Fox. But before she could speak, Mr. Bayless demanded that she come to his car after the show. Ms. Faraji responded that she could not come and sit in his car as it was inappropriate. Mr. Bayless grew irate and then left. So that's the part where they mentioned Shannon Sharp, and then it has one other part where it says, on April 14, 2022, Mr. Bayless texted Ms. Faraji, if you're distracted tomorrow, I'll wait till Monday, but I can't keep doing this. Ms. Faraji told him that she was very confused. Mr. Bayless responded, trust me, I'm far more confused. Ms. Faraji then explained over text that she is not sleeping with Mr. Sharp. Bayless did not respond. And then it continues on. On April 16, 2022, Mr. Bayless called Ms. Faraji. Ms. Faraji did not answer the call because she was scared. She then called back 10 minutes later. On the call, Mr. Bayless again angrily accused Ms. Faraji of effing Mr. Sharp and said that he could tell from her body language that she was effing him. Ms. Faraji tried to explain that she was kind to all talent, and that included laughing and engaging in conversations. Ms. Faraji then asked if he was yelling at her because she refused to go to his car. Mr. Bayless answered that she shouldn't talk to him like that. Ms. Faraji replied that she could respond however she wanted. Mr. Bayless then angrily stated that he had heard her talk to Mr. Sharp about her vagina. Ms. Faraji knew this to be untrue and was embarrassed and angry. Ms. Faraji responded that even if she had been dating Mr. Sharp, which she wasn't, it shouldn't matter at all because she only had a professional relationship with Mr. Bayless. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say here. This story is crazy. Or this lawsuit is crazy. Not crazy in the sense that I'm saying I don't believe it. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the details of it are absolutely crazy. What? Now, it's important to say that this is all alleged. This is her side of the story. We haven't heard from any of the people that are being mentioned in this lawsuit. But this is crazy. And a lot of people are going to believe this or want to believe it because of the fallout and the fracture in the relationship between Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. Boy, oh boy. I don't expect Shannon Sharp to respond, but then again, I could be wrong. Shannon Sharp could respond to this. Knowing Shannon Sharp, I think he could respond. Folks, let me just say this. This is only the beginning. This right here is only the beginning. 2025 is off to a bang. No pun intended. It's 2025 and it looks like all hell is broken loose already. Trump hasn't even taken office yet. Everything is going crazy right now. Now, I'm not taking a shot at Trump. I'm just saying the president hasn't even taken office yet. We got all that crazy stuff happening. And 5 days into the new year, this story breaks. So yesterday, all hell broke loose all over the internet. Like quite literally, all hell broke loose with this Fox FS1 lawsuit. As you guys know, Front Office Sports got ahead of this story and they published an article on their website with the headline saying Fox, Skip Bayless, others sued on 14 counts, including sexual battery. So we do a live about it. Okay, I want to walk you guys through how this all happened, how this kind of played out yesterday. So we're doing the live and I'm reading the article, okay, which I'm going to read to you guys shortly. And as I'm reading the article, I'm not able to connect the dots. They're bringing up Joy Taylor. They're bringing up Skip. I'm like, why is Joy Taylor being mentioned in this story? I'm like, why is she being mentioned in all of this? So for about 30 minutes, I do the live. I'm in the live. And then I decide to click on the lawsuit, the 42-page lawsuit. And then the moment I clicked on the lawsuit and I started reading through the bullet points, bullet point after bullet point, yo, this story started to get crazy. And the more I read, man, the more Joy Taylor was looking like, I don't even know. This lawsuit got Joy Taylor out there looking mad shady, mad manipulative. I was like, yo, now this is all alleged. It hasn't been proven. This is just the plaintiff giving her side of the story. But the receipts and the dates and the locations and the time, yo, this is crazy stuff. Okay, so let's read the article here. Nouri Faraji, who says she worked at Fox Sports from 2012 through last August, made a series of allegations in a 42-page lawsuit obtained by Front Office Sports, Fox Sports, FS1, FS2, Fox Sports EVP Charlie Dixon, Bayless, and FS1 host Joy Taylor are listed as defendants in the lawsuit. In the suit filed Friday in Los Angeles, Faraji alleged that Dixon, head of content for FS1, grabbed her buttocks at a birthday party in West Hollywood. When she relayed the encounter to Taylor, the Fox host allegedly told her to get over it. Now, when I initially read that, I'm like, why are they mentioning Joy Taylor in this article? Then it continues on. It says, during her time at Fox, Faraji alleges she made multiple complaints to Human Resources and Employee Relations departments. Meanwhile, the suit alleges Taylor began insulting Ms. Faraji on a personal and professional level after their friendship ended. The suit also alleges that Taylor mocked the English pronunciation of Faraji, who is of Persian descent. I read that part and I didn't understand. And then something told me to go read the lawsuit itself. And folks, when I did that, it all began to make sense here. And I want to read what this lawsuit says. So let's read it. It says, Mr. Dixon gives Ms. Taylor undisputed as a reward for having sex with him. Good Lord. In approximately March 2016, Ms. Faraji met Ms. Taylor as an inspiring sports personality that had recently moved from Miami to Los Angeles for the opportunity of airtime at Fox. At the time, Ms. Taylor did not have a regular position, but would fill in on a day-to-day basis when talent was sick and otherwise missed time. Ms. Taylor told Ms. Faraji that she was recently wed, but her husband remained in Miami and that she was lonely in Los Angeles. Ms. Taylor then befriended Ms. Faraji. In approximately May of 2016, Ms. Taylor asked Ms. Faraji to meet for a drink in Santa Monica. When Ms. Faraji arrived, she found Ms. Taylor with an older man, Fox Sports Executive Vice President of Content, Mr. Dixon. As an executive vice president, Mr. Dixon is responsible for overseeing all content and production of FS1. Ms. Faraji, however, did not know Mr. Dixon. And when I read that part, it became clear why they were mentioning him at the beginning of that Front Office Sports article. It then continues on. When Mr. Dixon went to buy them another round of spicy margaritas, Ms. Faraji asked who he was, and Ms. Taylor responded that he was just a friend. Following that night, whenever Ms. Faraji would meet up with Ms. Taylor for drinks or food, Mr. Dixon would either arrive with Ms. Taylor or show up later at night and leave with Ms. Taylor. He would always buy rounds of drinks or food. From their body language, Ms. Faraji suspected that the pair were sleeping with one another, and although this concerned Ms. Faraji, as she knew Ms. Taylor was recently married, Ms. Faraji kept her opinion to herself. In approximately June of 2016, while at work, Ms. Faraji noticed Mr. Dixon in the elevator. Surprised by the coincidence, Ms. Faraji found Ms. Taylor and told her excitingly, the guy who buys his drinks at the bar was in the elevator. Ms. Taylor quickly silenced Ms. Faraji, explaining who he was. Ms. Faraji became alarmed and warned Ms. Taylor that such a relationship was unsafe. Ms. Taylor told her not to worry about it. Ms. Faraji continued to be friends with Ms. Taylor, but tried to distance herself as she considered the situation dangerous as well as morally wrong, as Ms. Taylor and Mr. Dixon were both married. In approximately June 2016, word spread amongst Fox employees about a news show that was going to be a big deal, as it would star Mr. Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. It was known that Fox was looking for a woman with significant TV experience to also star. Therefore, it came as a surprise when Fox announced that Miss Taylor, who was a bartender and a radio host in Miami with very little TV experience, would be the moderator of the new show, a sports debate program, Skip and Shannon Undisputed. Mr. Bayless later disclosed to Ms. Faraji that he did not want Ms. Taylor on the show, but Mr. Dixon was adamant that Ms. Taylor should star. At first, Mr. Dixon arranged a dinner between Mr. Bayless and Ms. Taylor, where she arrived in provocative clothing and acted in a provocative manner. When that did not change Mr. Bayless's opinion of Ms. Taylor, Mr. Dixon also asked him to approve of her as a favor for him. Reluctantly, Mr. Bayless agreed to do so as a favor to his friend. Around August 2016, Ms. Faraji attended a dinner with Ms. Taylor and her husband, Mr. Dixon, and his wife. During the dinner, Ms. Taylor's husband became suspicious that Ms. Taylor and Mr. Dixon were having a sexual relationship. Soon after the dinner, Ms. Taylor's husband found evidence of the inappropriate relationship and divorced Ms. Taylor. In approximately September 2016, Undisputed started. Ms. Taylor requested Ms. Faraji do her hair. In approximately November 2016, after not allowing anyone to touch his hair, Mr. Bayless also requested Ms. Faraji to do his hair. Now, let me read from this part. It says, Ms. Taylor again uses her sexuality to get on the show. In approximately February of 2020, Ms. Taylor asks Ms. Faraji to meet her for lunch in Beverly Hills. When Ms. Faraji arrived, she found Ms. Taylor with a man, Emmanuel Acho, Mr. Acho. Ms. Faraji did not know Mr. Acho, but could tell the two were romantically involved. Oh, Lord. A few months after meeting Mr. Acho at lunch, Ms. Faraji noticed him in the hallway while at work. Ms. Faraji later asked Ms. Taylor if Mr. Acho worked at Fox. Ms. Taylor confirmed and explained that she wanted Mr. Acho to eventually recommend her on the show Speak for Yourself. Ms. Faraji became alarmed and warned Ms. Taylor that she should probably not sleep with Mr. Dixon and Mr. Acho at the same time. Good Lord. As Mr. Dixon is a very powerful man that may become very angry. Ms. Taylor told her not to worry about it. She explained that she was also now powerful. And once Mr. Dixon was no longer useful to her, she would follow through on her plan to tell the company that she forced himself on her. She would not allow herself to be forced out by Mr. Dixon like other women talent. In approximately September 2022, Ms. Taylor started working on Speak. Ms. Taylor requested Ms. Faraji do her hair. Yo, I don't know what to say right now, B. I don't know what to say right now. This lawsuit is alleging that, number one, Joy Taylor used her sexuality to get various positions at FS1. But it's also saying that she was willing to pull a Me Too card on Charlie Dixon if he tried to push her out. I don't think you guys understand the ramifications of what this means. This is a major story. A major one that speaks to the culture and workplace environment at Fox. This is a behemoth of a story. And I think it's only getting started. It is crazy. Crazy, crazy. And people that used to work at FS1 expect them to come out. Expect to hear from names like Marcellus Wiley, Jason Whitlock, and others. It's going to get dirty. I know this is all alleged, but this lawsuit got Joy Taylor out there looking super shady. Like super duper duper shady. Oh, Lord. I cannot wait to see where this goes next. What a way to kick off 2025. Good Lord. As you guys know, yesterday was a full night in the NBA. A bunch of teams were playing. The Oklahoma City Thunder, I believe, were able to win their 15th game in a row against the Boston Celtics. The Cleveland Cavaliers won another game as well. Utah Jazz and Orlando played. The Golden State Warriors played. And of course, the Los Angeles Lakers and the Houston Rockets played. Now, the Houston Rockets are one of the top 4 seeds in the Western Conference. Ime Udoka has done a fantastic job. He should be getting more credit than these people in the media twerking it up all over the place for J.J. Redick. I digress. So that happened, and I was watching bits and pieces of this game, and this game actually was quite entertaining. The Lakers were down for the majority of the game. They got down pretty big, I think around 20 points at one point, but they fought back, executed. Anthony Davis and LeBron and these guys were pretty good. Anthony Davis finished the game with 30 and 13 points. LeBron finished the game with 21 and 13 rebounds and 9 assists. He played well. Rui Hachimura had 13. Max Christie had 14. Austin Reeves had 21. So their starters were all in double digits. They played really well. But towards the end of the game, the Lakers had some late game execution miscues. And towards the end, it was supposed to have this inbound pass that was stolen by Fred VanVleet on LeBron James. But then LeBron was trying to call a timeout. I don't know what the hell happened. He went down. I think they fouled him or something, and he hit 1 or 2 of the free throws or something like that. And ultimately, the Houston Rockets were able to ice the game and win the game. So what happened? In the post-game interview, J.J. Redick walks in there looking absolutely distraught, looked like as if he got the worst news of his life. And in typical J.J. Redick fashion, whenever the Lakers lose, he just goes through this like emotional breakdown. He can't speak. He's always at a loss for words. Some people in the comments saying, damn, you can see J.J. Redick's hair turning gray right in front of our eyes. So what we want to do is we want to play some of what J.J. Redick had to say in the post-game interview, and then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to what J.J. Redick had to say here.
Yeah, JJ, what did you see as the big difference between the first half and the second half, specifically the third quarter, how you guys came out?
Made some shots. Our inability to get defensive rebounds was the difference in the game.
With the, obviously it's 18-10 is the differential, but what did you see as other than, Adams and the impact and Thompson, like what was the reason for the difference there?
I think a little bit of it is will, and Adams is a guy I played with, and I know he's like a tree down there once he gets position, and it's hard. I thought certainly Jalen Green's shot making was huge for them, but Thompson just killed us all night, whether that was in transition with his cutting or on the offensive glass.
You guys are down 3 with 7 seconds to go. Max is trying to inbound it to
Didn't execute. We have actually 4 ATOs we didn't execute, and that's shocking to me. So we came into this game number 2 in the league in PPP on ATOs. We've done great all year. Three times before that, I didn't do what we were supposed to do. I mean, I don't know. That's hard.
You guys had a timeout there, and it looked like LeBron was signaling it right before Max inbounded the ball. Was there any discussion with you and the referees about why it wasn't granted?
No. There was not a discussion there. I think a lot of times they're the closest guy is generally looking at the inbounder. And I'm not sure what happened on the second play because we just watched it and Holiday flopped. So I'm not sure why that was rewarded. Yeah, I don't know why that was rewarded. That was egregious.
JJ, what were you guys looking for on the 7-second inbounds play? What were you guys trying to get to?
A LeBron shot. We didn't execute it though. Yeah.
You guys were down 22 in the first half. You're down 20 really early in the third, and you took Rui out. You went to Dorian. Later in the fourth, Jackson had 93 pretty rough seconds. Took him out, went to Dorian again. Was that kind of what you were talking about when you talk about you want to be great? Is that where you're holding the standard you're trying to hold this team to?
It wasn't anything against Jackson. It just felt like, again, it goes back to where we're at a disadvantage and we can look to create an advantage. And I thought them cross-matching, ultimately we took advantage of that throughout the night, and we were prepared for it. We had talked about it as a staff. Once the guys sort of recognized what was going on, like, we got great shots from that, and it wasn't like, again, Jackson was fantastic against Portland. It's the Finney Smith thing is just it gives us the option to play small at times.
You guys opened the season really hot, had a bit of a losing streak, lost 9 of 11. Now you guys have won 8 of 11 and are back and forth. Obviously, you're used to these ups and downs, having played in the league for 15 seasons. But being in the coaching seat, obviously, we all know how much of a hot seat it is. We saw what just happened to Mike Brown. Do those winning streaks and losing streaks feel different to you now?
I think I know what you're asking me. There's a scene in Band of Brothers where they're in the trenches, and one of the soldiers who's really scared asked the other guy, he says, how are you able to go out and fight and you don't seem scared? And he says, it's because I'm already dead. So when I took this job, I already died. So I'm well aware of this profession, but it's not even on my radar. I'm already dead.
So you heard what JJ Redick had to say. What are my thoughts on this? Look, this is the pattern. Whenever the Lakers do well, JJ Redick is all smiles. He's up there giving you guys parables, cracking dry jokes and all of that. But whenever they lose, man, it's always like this emotional thing. And I think it's something he's going to have to learn, because you can't be projecting at every single game on that night in and night out base, because you're going to win games and lose games. Like it's going to take an emotional toll on you. What else does this say to me? It says to me that the Lakers struggle against real competition. All right. They struggle against real competition. That's the reason why I'm not putting too much stock in the fact that they've been playing well, quote unquote. They're not really playing great teams. The great teams out there are still better than them. If you look at the Western Conference picture, for example, the Lakers are not better than the Thunder. They're not better than the Rockets. They're not better than the Grizzlies. They're not better than the Nuggets. Now they're the 5th seed, but they're not better than those guys. And one could make an argument the only reason their record is that high up is because of the teams that they've been playing. But this is the trend, right? This is the reason why, if I'm a Laker fan, I'm not up there celebrating. Now, obviously, this doesn't stop these LeBron fans from essentially twerking it up all over the place, pouring honey all over each other, hollering and screaming whenever he plays well. But to me, I'm only going to take the Lakers seriously when they actually start playing some real teams. Now, they're going to be playing against the Mavericks, which should be a pretty good a matchup. I don't know if Luka Doncic is going to play. Then you have the Hornets. You have the Spurs, who've been playing well. They're going to be playing them twice, and they're going to play the Miami Heat. Then you have the Nets, and they have the Clippers. And then they have the Wizards, Celtics, Warriors. So their schedule is still a little bit iffy. I'm not 100% sure yet what to think about the Lakers. We'll see by the trade deadline. But for me, until they start playing some great teams consecutively, I'll take them seriously. But for now, I'm not really buying into it.